Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my kind of squeaky chair, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about Star Wars Unlimited. That's right, it's time to piss off at least some members of my audience as we return to the world of a card game taking place in a galaxy far, far away. And this is a two-parter, or no, dual purpose. This is a dual purpose video. That's the phrase. This is a dual purpose video because one, I would like to talk about Star Wars Unlimited in general and my continued thoughts on it and my continued apprehensions on it. And two, there's a new set coming out, Ashes of the Empire, which I'm 99% sure drops next week. And pre-orders for it are not looking great. Let's be upfront about this. The booster boxes for Ashes of the Empire are trending at around $90 pre-sale right now, which that's not great. Not terrible, but it's not great. And just to catch you guys up with where Star Wars Unlimited has been for the last 6 months, basically every store I've talked to that I've had follow-up conversations with has been buying less and less and less Star Wars Unlimited product. They've been putting less of it out on the shelves, less singles, less selling online, TCG, eBay, or in one case, their own store, their own online platform. Because, yeah, stores do that. Stores can have their own digital storefront. Amazing. Yeah, so a lot of other store owners that I talk to, both locally and online, have been very pessimistic about Star Wars Unlimited. Meanwhile, on the flip side, the fans of Star Wars are overall very positive. They have a lot of nice things to say about the game, its core mechanics, the resource system, the back and forth gameplay. The people who are fans of Star Wars Unlimited, make no mistake, when I am disparaging, no. Being critical of, yes. When I'm being critical of Star Wars Unlimited, it definitely comes from a more store perspective, because as a store, as someone who buys and sells cards to make money, which is what stores do, someone who's looking at this from a financial outset, and someone who talks with a lot of other people who have financial skin in the game, Star Wars Unlimited really is this not great subject. But from the perspective of players and fans of the game, you get two different stories. Now, there's a lot of excitement around Ashes of the Empire. If you look around online, you talk to people who are fans of the game, you talk to players, collectors, and tournament grinders, because I guess those are a thing. And there's a lot of excitement about the new set. There's some cool cards that people are super excited about. I looked through the gallery. I'm going to be honest, I don't recognize most of the characters. Yeah, there's some like Mandalorian characters from the first season of that show that I recognize, and some original trilogy characters. Like there was a Vader card, a Leia card, etc. Like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber had a card, I think. But for the most part, loud trucks zipping by. For the most part, most of the characters in the new set are dudes I just straight up don't recognize. Like there's a guy named Morok, a guy named Shin Hati, there's a Glup Shido in there. Like a bunch of Star Wars characters that I've literally never heard of. So obviously that's, as a old school, old-timey Star Wars fan, it's definitely not like my wheelhouse. But, like I said, the fans of the game, the fans who are super diehard about it, who will hop on my videos and jump down my throat because I'm critical of it, they definitely seem to like it. And that's good. That's very good. But let's revert to the other side of the cash register, because we have to have an honest conversation about Star Wars Unlimited, especially with the $90 pre-sale price tag for Ashes of the Empire. Okay, let's be very honest here. From distribution, stores are paying somewhere between $70, $75, $80 for a box. I think it's $70 to $75. And MSRP for regular booster boxes is around $120. So just keep in mind, for the last year, almost every single Star Wars Unlimited product has been trending downwards. Some have started off very strong, with a little bit of a downward trend and then a bit of a, sideways for a while. But for the most part, it's downwards. Okay, it's a little slope for almost across the board, right? So make no mistake, in a game where boxes are trending downwards, $90 as a starting point is not great. Remember, we are still pre-release. Release is next week. Now, some sets will come out at that 120 MSRP and actually sit there for a bit before they start their downward trend. But Ashes of the Empire, despite what the positivity might lead you to believe, it doesn't look like it's that great. And that price tag is even taking into account that less and less stores are buying it. Therefore, there should be less and less in the market, right? Supply should be a bit more constrained. That's what less stores buying it should mean, or stores buying less of it should mean. But even with constrained availability, less and less people seem to actually want the product, which is why it's trending downwards. Now, secondary part of the conversation, the Carbonite boosters for Ashes of the Empire is looking good. 230 price range, I think, was the last I saw it at, which is better, okay? Even considering the higher price tag stores had to pay, I think like 160 to 180, something like that. Maybe no, 90, 190 maybe. It's somewhere around that range. I don't remember the exact price. You guys can tell that I don't buy from distribution, right? Stores pay more for Carbonite booster boxes, obviously, but it's got a better out the gate price at 230. Much better than some of the other Carbonite boosters are. But still, even with that nice high price, across the board, even Carbonite boosters, which are supposed to be, again, these are supposed to be the super special, highly collectible, premium products for the game. This is supposed to be what gets the collectors into the game. And remember, Carbonite boosters are where you get the special treatment cards for the sets that have them, right? Across the board, they're also trending downwards. Most Carbonite boosters are under 180. In fact, I think Secrets of Power, is under 130 a box for Carbonite booster boxes. Let me tell you something. Under 130 is nuts. That's insane, okay? No store that is buying Carbonite boosters for Star Wars Unlimited would be very happy to see a 130 price tag for any kind of product that they're paying, I think, upwards of 190 for. And of course, like I said, fewer stores are buying it, which means it's less likely to stick around. Because again, there's just the whole financial incentive back and forth. Remember, supply and demand, sure, but if there's no supply and no demand, what is FFG going to do? What is Fantasy Flight Games going to do? With less and less people actually buying the product, less and less stores stocking the product, less and less distribution interested in holding the product in their warehouses. Now, again, I have been wrong so far on Star Wars Unlimited. I have said like 3 times now that it's going to die within 12 months of the videos that I've made for them. So I've been wrong in the past, and I will hopefully continue to be wrong. But I do sincerely hope that Star Wars Unlimited can pull a Lorcana and pull itself out of this dog water situation. And by that I mean look at Lorcana. A year ago, a year and a half ago, even 9 months ago, it was very easy to be pessimistic about Lorcana because of the direction the game was going. But they pulled themselves out of the muck, and right now Lorcana is a boom, crazy, to the point where even some dog-ass sets that nobody wanted a year ago are starting to see some people pick it up. It's crazy. Reyna Jafar, anybody? No, good stuff. There is a lot of upside too. If Star Wars Unlimited does pull Lorcana and it does flip around and does pull itself up, there's a lot of upside, especially for the people who have a lot of faith in it, who buy the product when it's at a huge discount right now. Because across the board, Star Wars Unlimited is at a huge discount. Regardless of the set, regardless of the product type, everything's super cheap right now. So if there's people out there who have faith in Star Wars Unlimited, and it does turn around, and that faith is rewarded, they will make out just as well as the Lorcana people have. Because I know some people who were super into Lorcana, super believers in Lorcana, and they made it like bandits. Fable did wonders for that game. And I am legitimately hoping, like, this is my earnest, from the heart plea, that I hope Star Wars Limited does turn around and does see all that faith. But I personally don't have the faith in it. I can hope for the best, but I expect the worst, is basically this video. Basically the point I'm trying to make here. You know, and before you comment, oh, you're wrong, Star Wars Limited's great, I love the game so much, I have so much belief in it, everyone I know loves it, and all that jazz. I get those comments every single time I make one of these videos, right? I've had someone reach out to me or leave a comment or even send me an email in one case, tell me that I'm wrong and that SWU is actually the best of the current TCGs, which is wrong because it's still Digimon. And of the out-of-print TCGs, it's still Mega Man. You know, before you hop in the comment section and get defensive, just all jokes aside, all seriousness, Secrets of Power as a set has serialized cards. Yes, I know the big joke has a Jar Jar card that literally nobody wants. There's memes about you pull it, you lose money, right? But it does have serialized cards. It has serialized cards, some of which are very popular characters. Like, it's got General Grievous. That's crazy. I think it has Grand Admiral Thrawn, who's a major popular character. In fact, hang on one second. I don't like this depiction of him. Boom. I'm a sucker for Thrawn. He's like my favorite expanded universe character. I loved the book he came in. The Thrawn trilogy was amazing. So look, it's got serialized cards for Thrawn. It's got a serialized card for General Grievous. And despite that, despite having some slam dunk home run characters and some super collectible cards, the Carbonite boosters, the collector boosters of the game for that set, for Secrets of Power, I think. Yeah. Despite everything it's got going for it, it's $130 for a Carbonite box. Now, if you were a super fan of Star Wars Unlimited, if you had mega faith in it, and you had money, you know, two stipulations here. You have money to spend, and you're a major fan of Star Wars Limited, okay? Both those conditions are met. If I were a super fan of Star Wars Limited, if I had faith in the game, and I had any money to spare for speculation on booster boxes for anything, and I saw that a case of Carbonite boosters was $550 or less, that would, to me, be an absolute steal. I would be, every single time almost I have $500, I would be setting aside that money and going, another case, another one, another one, another one, right? Every time. And let me remind you, I do love Thrawn. He's a silly guy. Shame how he dies. You know, if I had the faith in the product, these Carbonite boosters at $130 would be a steal. I don't have that faith in Star Wars Unlimited long term. Maybe I'm wrong. My question to you guys, the people who comment on the videos and tell me that Star Wars Unlimited is great, or reach out to me on Discord and say, hey, Uncle Frank, you're wrong, Star Wars Unlimited is great. Let me ask you a question. Do you have disposable money? And do you have genuine faith in Star Wars Unlimited long term? That's all I got to talk about today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. comment below, all that jazz. Check out the Discord, the Patreon, the TCG Player. I'm also selling on eBay more actively, so check that out as well. But that's all I got for you kiddos today. I look forward to continuing to be wrong about Star Wars Unlimited, by the way. I do genuinely hope that it sticks around for 10 years. 10 years is probably a good run. Anyway, that's all I got. Ciao.